Hello everybody, welcome to Darkslayer TV. My name is, of course, Darkslayer. And today we are not analyzing a game, no, we are casting a game here on Dusk Towers. Spawning at the bottom left position is the one and only Red Terran, PrismLaw. And spawning up here in the top right position, our other Terran, just as good as the other guy, the Blue Terran, KoYa. So what kind of crazy TVT things are we going to be seeing on Dusk Towers? A matchup that I am not very well versed in. It is a matchup that I know consists of a lot of siege tanks, medevacs, and marines, unless of course you go for a mech style. But other than that, this is going to be quite the interesting matchup for me as well as for you guys, I'm hoping at least. This is a platinum and diamond level game. PrismLaw is a low-level diamond, and KoYa is a platinum level player. Just a heads up, we may revisit this game at a later date, as KoYa, the guy that sent it in, said, you know what, you can either cast this or you can analyze it, because there are a few things about it that I would really like to learn. So we might come back at a later date and analyze it. I decided to cast it now, though, because we've had 2 analyzes on the channel and we haven't had a cast in a while, so we're gonna go ahead and cast it. Hopefully it's a pretty good game, and let's see what we got going on. PrismLaw is going to be going for that Reaper opening to try to do the early damage on KoYa, and KoYa going to try to counter it with his own Marines, which I'm always in the boat of KoYa. I like getting those Marines up besides the Reaper, because in TVT, if you both open Reaper, it becomes a who wins the Reaper battle, and losing that Reaper battle can result in some very heavy losses of SCVs and mining time. So I always like to play the safe route and go for those Marines instead of the Reaper. But PrismLaw, gonna see if he can pull off that Reaper micro. Gonna start sending this first one up to KoYa's base. Let's see if he's gonna be able to deal with it. He does have these Marines in pretty nice positions, though, so that Reaper's gonna get shot at before it even makes it into the base. It's gonna make its way up that ramp. It's gonna see that, and here we go. We go straight into 2 Marines, and a mine does blow one of the Marines back, but that Reaper almost going down very early there. But fortunately, it is Legacy of the Void, and he is going to have that awesome, what is that called? Combat drugs to get his health back there and maybe go back up to see what else it can scout. As for tech, we got a 1-1-1 build coming in for KoYa, and going to switch that Stargate onto the tech lab immediately. So this can be Banshees. We're probably going to see cloaked Banshees coming in from KoYa. So often get those Marines into, let's see if I'm smart, cloaked Banshees. There it is, there's our cloak. So we are going to be seeing some Banshees over here in PrismLaw's base, and we'll have to see if he's capable of defending it. PrismLaw going for the 1-1-1 as well, but not immediately into that tech lab, and is a little further behind due to the fact he went for that Reaper. Also, he's got that really cool Marine skin. I love that Marine skin. Like, look at it. It's got a little blade on the front. Oh, it's so cool, spinning around. It's got stuff on the back and everything. Oh, it's such a cool skin. But regardless, he's going for a more macro-style build soon. I won't be surprised if PrismLaw throws down his 3rd command center very soon. And actually, that's how he got that starport up so early compared to PrismLaw's late one. PrismLaw's natural was a lot faster than KoYa's, so that kind of explains how that tech got there so quickly. And the Banshee is going to start making its way across the map here, but some preemptive turrets are going to protect PrismLaw from those Banshees, as I don't believe he actually scouted it. Yeah, he did. Alright, never mind. Those aren't preemptive. Those are absolutely necessary, as he did see it coming. And here we go. Let's see if that Banshee can get anything done here. It does move forward and try to get some SCVs, and there it goes. It finds a fantastic spot. One SCV does go down. However, it's going to be chased by that Viking, and he needs to be really careful right now, because one scan and this Banshee could go down. Even got a forward turret there. Kind of an interesting placement, but it did pay off in the end. It did save a couple of those Marines from going down. And if we head over back to KoYa's base, we can see him posturing now to get things like combat shield and stim to get things going for his regular macro. Both of the harassments of the players have pretty much been neutralized at this point. We're probably going to go to a pretty stale middle game where both players are going to be just trying to macro up, get those upgrades going, and get that army composition that they're really looking forward to getting. And the third CC is now down for PrismLaw. Won't be surprised to see KoYa put his down. Actually, it is down right here, so I guess he's going to fly that over. I'm not quite sure why he's deciding to build it there when he's already got this forward placement, but it is a decision that he decided on, and it might just be to protect it. Who knows? It might be the most best idea ever. PrismLaw gonna go ahead and, or KoYa gonna scan PrismLaw's base. Not really gonna see much. Gonna see exactly what you would expect to see in a TVT at the 6-minute mark with a Reaper opening. PrismLaw not taking any chances. Gonna get up a couple more turrets to protect in case that Banshee comes back, but I don't think it's going to. It's really low HP and it's just kind of chilling right now. If we look at the supplies, PrismLaw actually, you can see where his early economic advantage is coming into play here. He does have over a 10 supply lead right now just because of that extra money that he was able to get with that earlier command center. We do have a drop coming in from PrismLaw, and it could do a lot of damage. KoYa not really in position to deal with as well as not having any turrets. He's going to go ahead and fly that CC over now. But here comes the medevac now, and we're going to have to see if it does any damage. Actually, we have an additional medevac going in here. We're going in for a double drop. This medevac going to go immediately for the second base location, and let's go ahead and turn up the workers killed tab as he's going to start trying to work on that. However, a fantastically medevaced in siege tank is going to defend that quite well, and I think he has forgotten about the other medevac. Oh man, the damage that could have been done if he would have remembered this medevac, because he could have been killing SCVs that whole time. However, I have to give it to KoYa. The movement of that siege tank with the medevac was a fantastic idea, and saved him a lot of grief. A lot of SCVs were saved there. We're going to have to keep our eye on that medevac while PrismLaw, oh, right as I look away, PrismLaw does remember it, and here we go. We're going to go in and start killing off some more SCVs. One does go down. And now we're going to have a little bit of an engagement there. However, he does decide to leave, but he forgets about half the Marines there. And that drop was neutralized. So KoYa not taking too much damage from PrismLaw's harassment, doing a good job, making sure that that all stays alive. And once again, we're going to go back into kind of the stalemate of the match. That is TVT, where both players are just going to start working on their compositions once again. PrismLaw does have the upgrade advantage right now. However, he's going to lose it very soon. He did have that +1-0, and so does KoYa at this point. However, KoYa is going to take the advantage now, as that armor is going to finish up before PrismLaw's. So honestly, it's pretty equal ground on the upgrades. I don't think we're going to see a significant advantage actually come into play. I don't think the game is going to be given away due to upgrades at this point. However, we are hitting that critical mass where we could be seeing some move outs soon from one of these players to try to justify taking that fourth base. KoYa's does go down. PrismLaw's not quite down yet, unless that's one. Yes, so both players taking their fourth at this time. And it's going to be pretty passive for a while here. We do have this Banshee slightly forward. And uh-oh. What does KoYa have in mind? It does look like we're going to have a move out here by KoYa. Which I love this, by the way. This makes TVT so much funner to watch. The fact that the medevacs can carry the siege tanks. Not only does it increase the skill level, but it also makes the viewing experience that much funner. So, we're going to have to see how PrismLaw decides to deal with this, depending on where KoYa attacks. If a KoYa attacks up this ramp, he's going to have one hell of a bad time. However, if, well, I was going to say he could do something around here, but PrismLaw has those turrets in position plus a Viking. So PrismLaw, this is a really good way to deal with Doom drops. I think some Terrans need to take note. Yeah, it's an expensive investment, but around this diamond level, it seems like a good way to deal with it, in my opinion. Yeah, see, KoYa wants to get in there with the siege tanks, but he just can't. PrismLaw doing a fantastic job with his defense right now. I don't think PrismLaw is quite aware that the attack is outside of his base just yet, but with this Marine here, he might know that something is awry, as that is obviously a scouting Marine. Excuse me, I'm not yawning because this is TVT. I promise I'm yawning because I didn't get much sleep last night. But we're going to have some stem Marines go forward now, and if they get this CC, that would be kind of a big deal. KoYa would be in a much better position. However, those siege tank shots take out a lot of those Marines, and PrismLaw not sure what to do with the CC, but he needs to get it repaired, or that will explode relatively soon, as it does burn awfully quick here. And the chess match that is TVT is going to take off here with those siege tanks. The scans are going everywhere, so PrismLaw in a bit of a situation, actually loading up all of his medevacs. What are his plans right now? A scan from KoYa might give it away, and he's going to start moving forward here. Not quite sure what to do. He wants to do something. He does scan this to make sure that KoYa is not going to do anything. And here he goes. He's going to do a huge drop on top of the army of KoYa. But I don't think it was a good idea. If you look at the supplies, the Red Terran is being annihilated right now. He did go forward to try to take care of those siege tanks, but I don't think it was a good idea, as KoYa was in just a better position. Red lost a lot of his units right there and is not going to be able to take his 4th base location. However, with all of this craziness going on, if you look at the mini-map, KoYa has not taken his either, and does decide to stem into the siege tank line, which I don't think was his best idea either, as a lot of that bio does go down, and he does have more Vetevacs and a few Marauders, so it does look like he's going to... he lived longer than I thought he would, I'll just say that. PrismLaw in a bit of a bad situation right now. He's got to hide and try to deal with the army here of KoYa. PrismLaw going to attempt to stop this. He does lift off his natural in an attempt to save it. KoYa moving up that ramp, and now on hold position. I don't know what PrismLaw plans on doing. KoYa is in a fantastic position right now, even getting all of these SCVs. Oh my gosh, that's a total of 24 SCVs killed. And PrismLaw, you are in a bad situation right now. He's not out yet, but he's in a pretty tight one. He does drop on top of that siege tank and does deal with the only siege tank left of KoYa in this position, which gives him the opportunity to run down this ramp and actually push KoYa back. PrismLaw does even the supply, no, I take that back, takes the supply lead there for a brief moment, even though KoYa did such a freaking successful attack. And PrismLaw bringing it back with that 2-2. Hold on. No, the blue has 2-2 as well. So it wasn't the upgrade advantage that won him that fight. It was just good micro and decision making there of Prism. So Prism, good job holding off the attack there of KoYa. But once again, KoYa, that was still a lot of damage, and a lot of SCVs did go down. And you could see that KoYa, oh God, sorry, did accidentally send some SCVs here, and PrismLaw now going to start dropping the Marines on top of the SCVs. It's kind of cute. Even a siege tank now trying to get out of there. And oh, the SCVs are turning to attack the Marine. Will they get it? Yes! But now there's 3 more Marines that are stemmed that are going to come and try to take out the SCVs, and they will do it. The SCVs may have got 1 Marine, but they aren't going to get more today. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this game escalated awfully quick, and now we're back down to a bit of a dull moment. Sort of, because it looks like KoYa does want to move out again, but he's not bringing it out. Yes, he is bringing his siege tanks. However, this is not a good decision. I'm so sorry. This is not a good decision. When you're only rocking 2 medevacs to the opponent's 6, with the siege tank advantage, this is not something you want to engage into, as he's just going to have better mobility all around, especially with the fact that medevacs can pick up those siege tanks. However, a scan does reveal PrismLaw's army composition, and I don't know if KoYa wants to engage. I think he realizes the how bad it would be to engage right now. He's actually going to send out a couple scouting marines to get the location, and another scan there. So KoYa, you can tell, is trying to find the right moment and right angle to attack right now, but I don't think he quite knows where he wants to attack. He looks like he's going to head up this ramp, so this could be pretty interesting. Does he decide to kill the rocks along with it, or is he going to... or is he going to not destroy it? Looks like he decides not to, and now he's in a position where he's going to start getting siege damage on this 4th base location, which is another good attack here by KoYa, hurting the economy of Prism even more. Although I think Prism's macro is a little stronger than KoYa's, the amount of economic damage KoYa is doing on these bases is keeping this game relatively even. KoYa even has the lead right now, and PrismLaw gonna do the same thing he did earlier that I don't know if I agree with. These medevacs are picking up all the siege tanks. And does he plan on moving them forward? He does move them a little bit forward, and he does get 1 siege tank, and it does look like the trade here is going to be almost 3 siege tanks for 2. Right now it's 2 for 2, but this one almost died, so we'll have to see what happens. And KoYa now going to leave this spot and head back home, where he is, well, not necessarily head back home, but leave that spot and get to a safer position and try to find another way to engage this army. However, the 3-3 is done for both players. PrismLaw, what are the upgrades on this siege tank? Okay, so he does have the upgrade advantage on siege tanks. However, he won't for long, as this is about to finish up here. I haven't yawned this much in forever. I feel like it's got to be because I'm casting. Because for those that don't know, you don't yawn because you're tired. You yawn because you have a lack of oxygen. And when you get tired, you start to breathe slower. So I feel like me not sleeping well last night, mixed with the fact that I'm yapping about StarCraft nonstop, is like making this really difficult. I am so sorry, KoYa. I don't think your replay is that boring. I promise. PrismLaw now moving out with 2 medevacs to see if it can't do some damage on the main base. And the army of KoYa is out of position, so this has a chance of doing a ton of economic damage. And KoYa sending some SCVs over here. I'm not quite sure what these are for. However, if you listen to all the scans going on right now, that is the sound of a Terran preparing for an attack. And PrismLaw boosting forward. He's going to try to get as much damage as he can done with these 2 drops. 1 drop almost does go down due to that turret. However, it does not quite go down. And now we have a ton of Marines doing as much damage as they can to this Terran base. They're going to get a couple of SCVs and maybe a refinery. But I mean, that's really it. And oh, a drop that I missed is now taking place over here. However, it is a planetary fortress that is being repaired, so I don't think this is going to go down back into the main base. We do see the armory go down, but that +2 attack was already finished. KoYa now going to start making his way up here to deal with the drop, and now the drop has been neutralized. And this was neutralized as well, but the economic advantage of KoYa is definitely taking place, as he has several bases in several locations. Maybe a little bit overkill, but you know what? It doesn't matter because he has them, and that's all that matters. Is because if he does need to mine, he's gonna have the minerals, the locations at least. And now KoYa looks like he's gonna start making his death march across this map to see if he can't find that position he's been looking for this entire game to assault PrismLaw, who is only sitting on 1 base worth of mineral patches, as this one is the only one left in the 3rd base, and the mine and natural is gone. And another drop is going to take out the CC, but I don't really think it's a big deal. KoYa looks like he might want to attack from this angle, which would be kind of smart considering a lot of the siege tanks are positioned in a way to defend against these. So here we go. We're going to see what he can do. It does look like he might siege here soon. No, he doesn't siege. He's just going to start pushing forward. Now he sieges, and he does stem forward, and it's a really good spot, but all these Marines are getting into that cannon fire and needs to be really careful, because if those Marines go down, those siege tanks are going to be naked, and PrismLaw is going to clean up KoYa rather quickly, and now he's in a position where PrismLaw needs, I don't know, he doesn't have very many Marines. KoYa attacked a really good angle here, but it wasn't enough to put the nail in the coffin just yet. We're going to have to see what he decides to do here. Does it look like there might have been a drop here? I'm sorry if I missed that. But now all the scans are going off as PrismLaw tries to figure out what he wants to do to deal with the assaulting KoYa. The poor Marine, poor two Marines do go down, and it does look like a doom drop is making its way over to KoYa's base, but some intercepting Marines do see it, and one medevac does go down. I'm not sure how many Marines died because of that. However, the scout was all that he really needed, and now KoYa is aware that PrismLaw is doing this and is already moving backwards, and the reinforcements are already almost enough to take care of a force like this. And here we go. Here goes the engagement, and PrismLaw already getting cleaned up with the returning forces. Gets a nice surround there, and all of PrismLaw's forces do go down, and PrismLaw, only mining off of one base, knows that it's now or never, and starts to make his way across the map here to try to kill off KoYa before he runs out of resources. But maybe decides not to. I'm not sure what his decision is. I guess I'm going to CC up here and see that it's already been taken by KoYa. I'm going to move that back. He's even going to move a siege tank up here. Like, are you freaking kidding me? As KoYa has already started mining out this base. Going to start hopscotching these siege tanks forward to try to deal with this base to try to get some more money. However, a stem in with all these Marines is going to start the attack here for KoYa. A lot of them do go down due to siege tanks. However, his siege tanks are now also sieged, and a huge stem forward from PrismLaw into this siege tank line, and I don't know if that was a good idea. He is going to clean up all of these Marines. However, all of his Marines are gone as well, and the economic situation for KoYa is much better than PrismLaw. So this is not looking good for PrismLaw, as KoYa is going to have a huge amount of resources or reinforcements making their way across the map, whereas PrismLaw is going to be fighting as hard as he can just to keep the his barracks and things pumping out units, as he's not going to have the money to do that. This PF is still alive, so quite the headache for PrismLaw as he does everything he can to try to get this killed so he can keep mining, as this base is almost mined out. So KoYa did a fantastic job choking his opponent, yeah, PrismLaw, no money. We're going to have to see how this game progresses. It does look like KoYa is going to start making his way across the map here, and PrismLaw does finally start mining again, and with all of these mules, this base is not going to last very long. So he needs to take more than just this base if he plans on staying in this game. KoYa gonna see if he can't make his way up here, and he might actually get here and kill off this command center before it even becomes a planetary fortress. He does scan, so he knows the position of this army, and PrismLaw forced to lift off. And this is not looking very good. PrismLaw gonna have to do a lot of damage to the force of KoYa if he wants to stay in this game. He needs to kill off a lot of these units, and he needs to get his economy in order. So PrismLaw, you've got a lot on your plate, especially since KoYa now gonna make his way over here with these two siege tanks and siege this mineral line, and they're all stacked, and so many SCVs are dying. Oh no. All those SCVs go down in a stim forward onto this location, and he sends all his Marines into those siege tanks. It's not looking very good. The entire army of KoYa and the Manor Mules on top of PrismLaw's army. Oh, that was painful. Oh gosh, never stim into a siege tank army, as we've seen over and over again in this game. KoYa, congratulations, you won this ladder match. PrismLaw, you did a fine job, but you just got out macroed, kind of, because in the beginning yours was better, but then the CCs were everywhere. I don't know. Anyways, if you guys like my casting, please send your replays to DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com. That's in the description. It is DarkslayerReplays@gmail.com. I'll see you next time.